the majority of them have held gold before.
Yeah, a lot of former
them.
champions in the Bay Area scene.
And a man that's in our final tournament match tonight, J.R. Kratos, he might be looking for a triple crown of sorts. He just recently took down Rick Luxury, who you'll see in our main event tonight, a six-person elimination match.
Very excited for
and
that.
Kratos was dominant in defeating Rick Luxury for that title. He's going to be fighting on the Supreme Pro Wrestling 15th anniversary show here in a couple of weeks.
Right.
And he will be going after that championship. And he wants to be the man who's the first PPW champion. So he's looking for as many belts as he can have. And you can see right away the size of Bobby Hart.
Yeah. Sounds like we're just reusing the same sound clips, but the size advantage here that Hart has over Flynn is extreme.
Bobby Hart at 6'4", 250 pounds. Virgil Flynn about 5'6", 150. Hart, look at him get up for a leapfrog. And Flynn walking on the hands. And he back handsprings into that head scissors. And Flynn might want to fly here. We know he can. Here he goes. Over the top. And a corkscrew plancha over the top rope.
I like Hart trying to work Flynn's game, working down to him, and then it immediately backfires on him. Flynn has that speed. Flynn knows where he's at all times. You hear about ring awareness, and Flynn's just so fast and so smart in the ring.
And we saw it. Him and Marcus Lewis fought all around this building in the debut show.
Back to where our cameras could not even cover. All the way out the back, up the balcony, everywhere.
And so you think you got a big guy on the outside. Oh, you know, he's going to be eaten up out there. He can hold his own in a brawling situation. But he is. He's getting up a lot of weight to Bobby Hart. And that's a big elbow to meet Flynn coming in.
Virgil Flynn has worked this building more than anybody else on this card. He knows this building.
He loves his building. And that's another big elbow shot. You can see Hart just lighting up Flynn with those big strikes, whether it's an elbow or a knee. Now he's going to bring Flynn out by his foot, and wow, what a clothesline. Bobby Hart, the man they call the Axe Murderer.
And Hart is so much bigger than Flynn. At some points, Hart's completely blocking Flynn from the camera.
Flynn telling him to come on, drapes him over that second rope. And we've seen this before from Flynn. He might try and do that running drop kick. He's got him set up for it. And there it is, right to the side of the head.
Drop kick, right to the ear.
And Virgil Flynn definitely has his supporters in the crowd tonight. Mr. Cannonball. And he's got the advantage right now over the much larger Bobby Hart.
He's got him down. He's got him reeling.
And so now Flynn with some elbow shots in the corner, trying to get the crowd behind him. Charging into the corner he goes, and a jumping elbow shot. Trying to get a little bit more momentum behind it than that first one. Now he's looking for a second.
He's taking a lot of time getting the fans into things. This could backfire.
He is definitely taking his time here. He's going to have to hurry up. Although it does look like Bobby Hart has taken the punishment, but he moves out of the way of that one. And the quick enziguri. Now a schoolboy. 2. And no, he rolled out of it, and now he's readying.
Just
looks like a
deadlifts
German suplex. What a display of power by Bobby Hart. First the quickness for that enziguri, and then after rolling out of the schoolboy attempt, he stayed with it and deadlifts them into that release German suplex.
Yeah, you see that deadlift German and talk about his power, but think about that power when he's going for pinfalls. That schoolboy where he's positioned all of his weight directly over Flynn's shoulders. That takes so much energy to kick out of something like that.
Some very nice athleticism. I have to say I've been very impressed with what Bobby Hart's been bringing to the table.
Well, there's a very good reason that he got into this tournament without having worked a Phoenix Pro Wrestling show before. The championship committee went to many, many different shows up and down California and loved what they saw out of Hart.
You can see as much as Flynn tries to fight back, all it takes is one shot from Hart to get him into a position where he's back on top. And now he's going to lift him up for a vertical suplex. And he's going to twist him down and just slam him with authority. 2. But a 2 count as Flynn stays alive. And that is Flynn's MO. If he is the man on the receiving end of punishment, it takes a lot to keep him down. You can see right there, kicking him in the side of the head. And Hart kind of seeing those defiant shots and trying to stay with him as best he can. Ooh. Look at that. Flynn had a couple there to the temple. That might have knocked a
one. He took a toe right to the temple there, and that you saw him just plop down right afterwards.
Yeah. Hart might be loopy a little bit there. Comes back with a big forearm shot. I know the small of the back, though.
Flynn's like a little spider monkey. Every limb's always going. Everyone's hitting you.
Sends him in. Duck in the clothesline. It's Flynn. Sets him up. And maybe looking for a tilt-a-whirl. But look at Flynn. Unbelievable. It was a reversal of the tilt-a-whirl head scissors into a powerbomb attempt. And then Flynn is able to hit him with a Hurricane Rana to take him out of the ring. And Virgil's got the crowd behind him. I'll tell you what. Flynn might be ready for another dive. We saw him at that corkscrew plancha earlier. Might be readying a pescado. Oh, no, it's a Hurricane Rana attempt, but this time Hart catches him. And he's going to powerbomb him onto the apron. My goodness.
Right on his neck and shoulder, right on the edge of the apron.
Bobby Hart with a tremendous counter. Tried that powerbomb in the ring, didn't work, but it actually might have worked out a little better because he got it on the apron that time. And now just a overhand chop to the chest of Flynn.
Yeah, the further you go from the center of the ring to the edge of the ring gets more and more like cement. Then you add in the edge of the apron. Oh.
And you can hear that. An elbow to the jaw.
And Hart's taking Flynn right out to his #1 fan.
That's right.
Hitting him right in front of his fan. Biggest fan.
And he's in the same exact spot he was on his birthday at the debut show. And he's letting Bobby Hart know that he's not happy that is taking care of Virgil Flynn the way he is.
Wearing his Flynn shirt, too.
That's right. And now he looks to suplex him in, maybe. But a block there, wrapping his leg around that bottom rope is Flynn. Trying to make himself very small, much more difficult to suplex someone when they're in a compact position.
He's grabbing the ropes. He's tucking in, really lowering that center of gravity.
Flynn with a roundhouse kick. And now he's going to come in an ace crusher. A slingshot variation. And Flynn, he's got him in position. Might we see Mr. Cannonball?
He might be calling.
He's ready. There it is! That compact senton. And now he might be going up.
Again.
A second one. A second one, and it hits him flush. A cover, a hook of the leg, but only a 2 count. As Hart is able to turn that right shoulder. Flynn can't believe it.
And that is Flynn, all of his weight tucked, compact, right on the stomach. Right on the stomach. And you can see the air getting blown out of Hart.
And Flynn knows that he really has to do everything he can to keep Hart down with that weight disadvantage he has. We can see Hart battling back, those spinning back kicks right to the stomach. Those double chops to return by Hart, and Flynn doing everything he can to try and get Hart down to a knee. A European uppercut, but Hart grabs the back of the tights, has him up in a rack position. Oh my goodness, it's a psycho driver! You gotta be kidding me!
Wow.
Unbelievable!
I don't even know how to describe the crowd reaction after that.
It
Nobody in the building was expecting that. You hear the phrase stunned silence a lot. It was legit this time. Nobody saw that coming.
But Hart, who had been taking a lot of punishment, he took 2 cannonballs. My goodness. Flynn hasn't moved. If Hart was able to move at all, he might have a victory here. He's going to have to roll him over. He does, but is it enough? 2. Oh, my God, Flynn got that left shoulder up. The psycho driver. I have not seen that in many years. My goodness.
Man. Hart wants to just put himself on the map in PPW, and it's going to be all bad news for Flynn.
And now he takes Flynn into the corner, and he might have something even more dastardly set up. To the top turnbuckle he goes. Now he's readying a superplex, but Flynn is able to block it. Hart battling his way out, lifts him up, but Flynn with a little knee to the side of the head there. Hart loses his
Hart's
grip.
shaking.
He's in position. Flynn hit this 450. This is what won him the main event match. He's ready. Flynn, 450 splash. 1, 2. Oh, but a small package by Hart. 2, 3. What a counter by Bobby Hart.
And he's, oh. Man, what an unfortunate loss for Flynn. And you can see Hart, he's holding his stomach. You know, he was this close to getting worn down. All that work that Flynn was concentrating right on the midsection, it was doing his job. And that's the most frustrating thing. Flynn did everything he was supposed to do in this, and it just didn't work for him.
It was a leverage move. It was a momentum-based move when Flynn went to hook the leg, and Virgil Flynn comes that close, but is on the losing end, and now moving on after a very impressive debut. Bobby Hart is in the semifinals, and he will face the winner of Corvus and Kratos. And Flynn, as you can see, is tossed aside.